G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We're here on the brand new expansion for Age of Empires 4. This is the Sultan's Ascent. Today, we've got two new variant civilizations up against each other on a brand new map. Let's dive into it and introduce our players for today. Spawning on the northwest face of the map, in the color blue playing as Juicy's Legacy, it's Don Artie. And on the southeast side of the map, in the color purple playing as the Ayyubids, we've got Leozum. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're here on, I was going to say Cliffside. It's not Cliffside. I think this is Hidden Valley. I've never actually seen a single game where anyone has gotten through to the middle of this valley. So I tell you what, it is extra hidden. How you guys doing? Welcome. It's great to be able to bring you this casted game. If you're enjoying this casted game, please go ahead, leave a like on the video. It does really help out with the traction of the channel. And let's talk about what we've got right here. We got two very strong civilizations in the current meta. You've got the highest win rate civilization, the Ayyubids, up against the Juicy Legacy, which currently sits about 53-54% win rate, which is pretty damn good when you think about it. Those are some really high win rates. Now, remember, those are going to be inflated as well because you've got civilizations like the Byzantines that are in the civ pool at the moment, and I don't know about you guys, I've been playing a fair bit of Byzantines. It's so frustrating. I'm like so close to giving up. At the moment, I'm sitting at like conk to about like 15, 60 points, somewhere around there. And I tell you what, man, I get matched up against like a conk 3 player, and it's just, it feels impossible. It feels so damn hard playing as the Byzantines. You're trying to do so much, and it's just, you know, I just keep thinking to myself, I should just be playing Juicy's Legacy right now, baby. It's a lot easier when you're winning. Look, anyway, let's let's move on. Let's get over and talk about what we might have on the radar for us today. So, Juicy's Legacy, a couple of different options for them. In fact, I'd say like there's three main options that you've got, at least that I can see for Juicy's Legacy. Number one, the big one, the Fast Castle. It's the 5-minute 45 age up with the Shaolin Monastery. Go pick up all the relics, have a good time, set yourself up in the castle age, maybe throw down a town center after you hit Song Dynasty. It's a good time. Number two, 2 TC Song Dynasty. You look to try and take that early stone, get that second TC down around the 5-minute and 10-second mark. Not a bad little timing for you. Oh, hello. Oh, Meditation Garden's right in the middle. He's only going to get wood with this. Look, on a map like this is probably the best bet. Where else do you go? Like, you throw it here. Wood, stone, congratulations, not the best. Berries, gold, not the best. You can't really extend it all the way down here. This might actually just be it. This is kind of a bad map for Juicy's Legacy now that I think about it in that regard. I don't know. Do you guys like this map? I think out of all the land maps, this is probably my least favorite, just because it feels so awkward fighting on this map. There's a part of me that just wants to stonewall one side of the map off, forget about it, and then, you know, never look at it, and then fight on the other side of the map. Look, I guess everybody's different. But yeah, those are your two options with Juicy's Legacy. The third option, and definitely the more fun option, is where you just go 1 TC, you just put the Meditation Gardens down, you don't even go for Song Dynasty, and you just make Zhukunu. Oh, that's a good strategy. Everybody likes that strategy. I feel like it's actually better with the Chinese than it is with the Juicy Legacy, though, if you're going for that strategy, because you get to Song Dynasty with the Chinese, you get the faster training villages. So that's the big thing for me. Anyway, let's check in on the other side of the map, because Leozum is on the way up to the Feudal Age, and it's going to be no surprises at all. It's going to be the Trade Wing Bazaar. So I suspect he's going to be looking for some early villager pickups here. Let's see exactly how well he goes with his RNG. Age ups are about to come through at the exact same time by the looks of it. You've got one villager here versus the age up on the other side. Let's see how he goes. What kind of trades has he got in the bag? 3, 2, 1. Don Artie reaches the Feudal Age. Now his opponent reaches the Feudal Age, and straight away we can see 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. It's not bad. It's not bad. He'll probably, yeah, he ends up taking, look at that, straight away. Good purchases immediately, and we'll be able to purchase the skirms as well. Let's check in on the Don, see how he's doing. As he's got that Meditation Gardens up, 24 wood per minute coming through. I think that's going to be 100 wood a minute in this position, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, man. 100 wood a minute, 2.5 villagers on wood for the rest of the game. Don't mind if I do. But now those traders making their way out. He does indeed have those skirmishes out on the map as well. So four units moving towards the enemy base immediately. This is kind of wild, right? Like, I think that's the crazy part, is there's not even like a train time on these. It's literally you click it and it's instant. I think that's just what makes this so special. Jiangnan Tower now coming through. You can see the timing on this is absolutely perfect from the Don. He's going to be throwing down the Jiangnan Tower just after the 5-minute mark, and immediately the archery range comes out. Zhuge not even going to have to click it. It's just going to come straight out, and boom, it's on the battlefield. Now the only thing that you're going to have to deal with is those skirmishers on the way through. It's also got the swordsmen making their fire out. Look at that. Look at the health on that. 140 health. Man, these units are absolutely insane when you think about it. 140 health. Skirms now looking to try and take out the Zhuge. Keep in mind, these guys have got a longer range. And they're pretty fast as well. 1.25 movement speed, faster than the Zhuge. So if you've got the ability to kite it and the attention, you can definitely pull that off. But Don might be in a bit of an awkward spot here. You can see that he's going to be suffering early on up against this Ayyubid pressure. Let's check in with his opponent because the trade is going to be coming back up in about 75 seconds. How good are these traders? 18 a minute. Not the best, but he is going to put down a market in the corner. Try and get himself a bit more of a favorable position. Mining camp's gone down. Don under pressure early on in this game. You can just see this is, I think, what makes the Ayyubids so strong is that they literally lose nothing by doing this. Like, you can see how this is so powerful. That to me is the crazy thing, right? Like, all he's done is aged up and he's clicked 2 buttons. That's it. And now he's able to put out on this much pressure. Denies the mining camp. Now we've got the Zhuge that's probably going to go down. Indeed, it's going to go down right now. Swordsman moving towards those Zhuge. He's going to have to throw up some kiting magic right now. He's doing pretty well, though, with the micro, I will say. And to be honest, Don's held this well. He's only lost the 1 villager, which is a big deal, but I guess the reality is, maybe this is just me, but I feel like when you're playing up against the Ayyubids, you need to be going into a second TC. I think it's about, like, going for the second TC and surviving. And it's hard because up against the Ayyubids, they've got a lot of options open to them. They can play a feudal-oriented style. They can play a castle-oriented style. But the most common thing that you'll see is them go to castle age pretty quickly, look to pick up the relics, and then kill you in castle. And that's exactly what we see coming out from Leozim here. And I think this is what makes the Ayyubids so damn scary. Look at this, the age up now coming through already at the 7-minute mark. He's clicked. Now he's got availability to pick these next round up. I'm expecting he's probably going to go into villages as his first option here. Let's have a look and see where he goes and what the direction is going to be. Still yet to click it. Let's check in with him. Come on. Come on. Click it, Leozim. I know you want to. I know you want to. Now, I just noticed he's switched this up, but he threw the market down in this corner. So I wonder why he's trading to this position. Is it because he's lost the Zhuge on this side? Of course. Very smart. And indeed, villagers coming through now. Oh, the villagers get trapped behind the culture wing age up. Oh, that's interesting. So it's almost like you want to delay your advancement until you've clicked your buttons. That's pretty... I didn't realize that. That's curious. By the way, can we just talk about this fast castle build order? This is something else, isn't it? Like, look how fast he's up. Less than 8 minutes. Man, you try and fast castle with the Byzantines, you will be up at 8 minutes without doing anything but, like, collecting resources. It is a whole nother level of hurt when you play the Byzantines, man. Compare that to the Ayyubid, and you're wow. All right, well, we got Camel Lancers on the way in here. Going to be looking to put on the hurt early on. Don now was looking just to play that one base style. We can see he's massing up the Zhuge here, yet to move over onto stone. But have a look at this. I don't even think the man's got intentions at the moment. Throwing down a whole bunch of production here. I was going to say 3 stables. 3 archery ranges coming up here. He'll need to be looking towards this base with some sort of siege. I don't think there's any way he's going to be able to break this unless he's got access to that battering ram. Now with the siege workshop, rather the blacksmith coming up, he's going to have access to that siege. So we'll ride on board with him. But another thing to note is he does spot the stable. So you're kind of left with 2 decisions, right? It's like, number 1, do I go into a Rax? Or number 2, do I just go it alone with only Zhuge and try and make this work? And I love that Don's just going into the siege engineering straight away. It allows him to front load a fair bit of this production. The one thing is, if you do take a fight with siege engineering instead of +1, it's going to hurt you. You really need that extra +1 damage. Let's check in with these camels, and you can see they've got 4 armor already. So even if you get that +1 damage, it's not going to make a difference. You're still going to be dishing the exact same amount of damage out. Where it's going to matter is when you're up against the skirms or the swordsmen. That's when it's going to matter. But traders now out on the map, getting in plenty of gold on this backside. Siege engineering comes through. Expect to see that battering ram placed down shortly. He's got plenty of resources in the bank at the moment, Don does. Now, up towards that north side, it looks like a Camel Lancer does make its way through. Oh, how terrible is that timing? Loses 2 villagers. I don't even know, how did it get through? And now breaks the walls on both sides. It's like, what's up? It's just, it feels like the Kool-Aid guy at the moment. All of these vills now exposed. No no Raxes, so no spears, and it's just like now he's just lost out wood completely. He's got a secondary source, so he'll be absolutely fine. But now on that front side, nice little focus coming through from the Zhuge-Nu, only doing 1 damage every volley. But remember, there are 3 arrows in each, or there are 3 volleys with each round, so it means that you're doing a little bit more than the average bear. Just gotta be careful with these archers though, and focus back towards the main area. He's lost up to 4 villagers so far. Zhuge-Nu working down that Camel Lancer. He's just gonna head back towards, and unfortunately, he goes down. More traders beginning to move out, and you can see he's just adding more and more, trickling them in slowly 1 by 1. Do we have any more trades coming through? Looks like we just got a set in, but unfortunately with 5 trades in the bank, means no villagers. That's the one that you're looking for. That's the golden one. If you can get the villagers in, you're always just going to feel so good about yourself. Zhuge-Nu numbers building though. He's looking for +1 in the back. Let's check in with the Don, see how he's doing up towards that top side. Does manage to get that wall up, so he's going to feel a little bit safer. Walled on one side, units on the other. Definitely the way to play it, especially with his gold oriented towards the south. Means he's not going to be too worried about it. So ideally we want to see more villagers on wood at the moment, because he needs to be building units and then also be building the rams. That's the other thing. Now, Camel's going to be running past here, looking just to pick up any reinforcements. So it means that he's going to be delayed on those reinforcements. Might have to pull back from the front here, otherwise he risks losing the battering ram. You can see him going for a bit of a chase at this point. But this is exactly what Leozim wants, because now that battering ram is exposed, he can bring out villagers. He could just send a single Camel Lancer there. The reinforcements coming down. We don't see any walls back here just yet for the Don as well. So there's going to be free reign in the base of Don if Leozim looks to try and find a way through here. And we will suspect that's what he's doing. Though at the moment, it kind of looks like he's just looking for reinforcements as well. And there we go, battering ram now going to be taken out. And Don in a bit of a tough spot. I mean, I'm a bit curious because it feels like this should have been something that you expected to happen. And so it's hard for me to say, oh, you know, you're okay, Don. Because I feel like this is definitely... Oh, this could be trouble right here. You can see just how quickly Don is retreating back, but a huge charge on the front, and now all of the Zhuge-Nu are just going to be going down here. Not really... I don't know whether he's not paying attention. Don, pick it up. There we go. There we go. Now, looking to try and join up with all of his friends. More Zhuge-Nu coming online now, and this is where it starts to get a scary amount of Zhuge-Nu here. Mass Zhuge-Nu, 38. That's exactly where you want to be. And up towards the top side. The camels continue to roam. You know, the wild part is just a wall across here probably would have cost him about, what, 45 wood? Something like that? It feels like in the current meta as well, just walling to resources is just such a good idea, because it's like you're extending out your wall. You've got a little bit more area to play with here. But now, I mean, Leozim's done a really good job in delaying Don's attack, because that attack felt difficult to deal with, imminent. I guess a Mangonel might have just entered completely, but even at this point, he's just massing up Camel Lancers. Don's having a little bit of a struggle here. He's going to try his best to force it back. I really want to see that wall come up from Don, though. Have a look at the resources in the bank as well. Don, Artie, what's going on, mate? Get him out. He's so relentless in following these units right now. Ville's now going to come through. He's going to lose a couple more. Relic's going to get picked up behind this. We can see that there are plenty. I don't know where they are, but we know that there are plenty of them. There they are on the way through. More villagers going down. Camels make their way through onto the wood line. Now, oh, the meditation gardens had the second tick through. So it's only 50 wood a minute, not 100 wood a minute. Never mind me. All right. Zhuge-Nu, once again. Who needs spearmen when you've got Zhuge-Nu? I think that's the age-old question. Wheelbarrow comes through for the Don. Still plenty of resources in the bank here. He's now, all of a sudden, queued up plenty of Zhuge-Nu. You could look to try and bring your Imperial officials out over onto these archery ranges and supervise out a whole bunch of units. But I think this just goes to show the importance, and I think this is something that we're kind of seeing in the current meta. I don't know, the games I'm playing, it definitely seems relevant. Ayyubid players in particular are very good at controlling where their cavalry goes, or their camels go in this case, and it's difficult to deal with. So I feel like naturally just making walls just helps so much against this civilization. But now he's going to try a beautiful quick wall from the Don. Unfortunately, it's only going to delay them slightly, and he'll take out absolutely every single camel bar one, which escapes with just a handful of health, less than 40. Oh, never mind. Oh, there we go. All right. Don now, 52. Zhuge-Nu, Mangonels coming in for the Ayyubid player as well. Actually looked to put the Siege Workshop down. The interesting thing is he could have just purchased the skirms and then built the Mangonels with the skirms. At least I think he can. I'm 99% sure he can though, but I'd have to double check that because I know that the game can be very specific. Like, oh, these units are not Ayyubid units; they're Bedouin or Bedouin units, and therefore they can't actually do that. So this is actually this is a great combo. The combo that Don is going up against here. So the reason why this is so difficult to deal with is because you want to try and dive the Mangonels with your Zhuge-Nu. If you can get close enough, you should be able to one-shot it. 155 health up against 55 Zhuge-Nu, all doing 3 damage a pop. Should be enough to one-shot it. The problem is, if you do get close enough to one-shot it, Don, Artie, wake up! No, Don, not like this! Oh, Don! Not using the attack move there, unfortunately, doing a move order, but now he's going to be able to two-shot Mangonels over from the right side. Nice little dodge by the Don. Slowly but steadily moving back, kiting towards his reinforcements. Beautiful control coming through, and the spear numbers are out at the moment as well. Keep in mind, Don does have access to the Palace Guard in the Feudal Age and could look to utilize that. Even 5 or 6 Palace Guards could make a breakthrough onto those Mangonels. They do have that extra movement speed, and now that Mango, once again, missing that shot, going a little bit short. And the run through, please, Don, tell me you've got... Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Don, Artie, please, my lord. Just a little bit of a wall. Just a tiny little wall. That's all I ask for, sir. A wall would be lovely here. And he's got to go. All right, Drongo, I'll give you a wall. All right, that'll do. That'll do. I respect that. I'll accept that. That's fair. You asked for a wall. There's your wall. Camel Lancer's coming through here. Don still holding a pretty significant military lead over his opponent. It's 13 against 61 at this point in the game, but obviously with Castle Age online, the Mangonels out, things are a little bit different in that regard. How are upgrades looking for Don as well? Looks like he's picked up all the relevant ones, now starting to pick up those melee armor as well, which will reduce the damage that you take from 23 down to 22, so sure, why not? But slowly and steadily eating his opponent alive right here. You can see the numbers looking a little bit concerning right now for Leozim. Let's ride on board with him and check and see how he's doing. You can see how many vills he's got on gold. Such a gold-heavy civilization, the Ayyubids, isn't it? And now he's got access to some trades back home. He can look to trade in some food. Could look to trade in, of course, some villagers. That's going to be important. And look at the villager difference, by the way. He's built up 12 traders behind this. But that's not where all the leads come from. It's come from the killing of enemy villagers. That's the part that really hurts. And now that wall comes in nice and safe here. Beautiful cleanup by Don. Things looking good for him. All right, Spears should be able to clean up the last of this. And so now the question is asked, from me at least, where does Don go from here? Because does he get anything from going Castle Age? Well, he gets a slight health increase on his Zhuge-Nu. That's it. Doesn't get anything else. The damage does not increase because look at the Camel Lancers. They already have +2 ranged armor, which means that you've got 6 ranged armor total. Zhuge-Nu cap out at 7 attack in Castle Age. So you're only going to be getting your health. That's the only thing from the veterancy upgrade. That's literally it. Towards that top side. Leozim still doing some big trades up here. Really nice numbers out here for him. The one thing to note, though, is just the difference in military population. 16 with 3 on the siege side. So a total of 20 at the moment. Up against 71. This is your classic juicy legacy. It is the Zerg of Age of Empires 4. The numbers just don't stop. And neither does the Don. Look at this. 4 axes going to get thrown down here. Spamming out units. I love doing this. And Don could look to go into granaries here. That wouldn't be a bad bet, but speaking of tough times, Leozim picking up more villagers. 2 going to go down. It looks like he might even get 2 more. Gets the 1 more. Takes a hail of bolts right there. Towards that top side, another outpost going to be coming down. Don not going to be too fussed about it. And once again, Don chasing 3 units with his entire army. He's been kept on his side this entire time. And I think the part that hurts the most is that really this could have been so easily solved by walls. There has not once been a presence here where I thought to myself, you know what? You're going to need more than just units to defend this if you've got a wall. Or just like a handful of units. Because even if you just throw a little wall across here and the Lancers come back, all they're going to have to do is siege down that wall. And you know what you do? You just sit behind your wall, you send your rally point to that, and you continue on with your attack at the front. And you put on the pressure. And you don't allow your enemy to build up all of this base. So I feel like, even though, you know, Don's an incredibly good player, we are learning things from here about the importance, the significance of a wall, especially in this matchup against the Ayyubids, but also just in this meta. It's an aggressive meta where, you know, there's a lot of action, a lot of high octane coming out now. But Farm transfer, or farm transition beginning to come through here. More units picked up in the middle of the map. Spears running out towards the camels, should be able to pick it up. Granary's looking good. He can put down another set as well if he wants to. He's got plenty of resources in the bank. Ville's just going to turn and say, all right, let's do it. Let's dance. Spears should be able to clean it up. He's lost 16 so far this game. So realistically, you're talking about, what is it, 64 or 66 against 84. So not a huge difference. But now, the numbers. Let's enter into the cinematic mode. The Mangonels. The Mangonels. Oh, the Mangonels. Triple. Is that a triple? Is that a triple? Oh, big damage onto the spears here. He needs to try and focus the Mangonels. That's three on the back. He could be using the fire. I don't know why he's not using the fire. With 3 of them here, this could be huge damage. First of them goes down. Second one under pressure. And now Don looking to try and focus the front. The Ghulam's doing a decent job. Second one does go down. Ville's getting pulled here. Should be able to keep this alive for a little bit longer. All the Zhukanu on the back slowly working their way through. And second Mangonel now going to be arriving. And now all of a sudden this gets tough for Don, because Don has to head back to the drawing board and say to himself, okay, what do I do? We know that the Mangonels are on the field. We're going to deal with the Ghulams as well. I think the answer here is Palace Guard. So I'd like to see a big farm transition from Don. Some walls coming up, which is exactly what we see in the middle of the map. Big farm transition and just a focus on Palace Guards. But it's going to be more spears coming out here. And his enemies not really focused on cavalry anymore. We haven't really seen that much cavalry on the map recently. And what is going on right here? Have a look at this. Walling you out, mate. No, I'm walling you in. Have a look at that. He just says, hey, that stone right there, that's my stone. You're not allowed that stone. I don't think I've seen that before on this map. I've seen aggressive walls, but not quite like that. Don Artie literally getting walled out of one entire side of the map. But he's working towards the middle. That's what's important. You know, he'll get through there eventually. All right, Don. Now, you know what would be cool? If there was like a little ramp down here and a ramp up here. That would be cool. I don't know if that'd be cool, but they could do it. They could do it. I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying they could. All right, Don. He's got to be careful. The Mangonels from the mist. Oh my lord, get off my screen. Get it off my screen. There we go. Mangoes everywhere. He comes in close, and you can see this is what makes it so dangerous when you're fighting against these mangoes, because you have to come right up to the front. And now look at the numbers. Oh my god, he's been completely obliterated. Don's lost everything. He's down to 37 Zhukanu. Trying his best to recover here, but it all just comes down to committing to kill the Mangonels with the Zhukanu. I feel like we've learned a valuable lesson here. Mangonels, you can kill them with Zhukanu if there's no threat on the melee front. If there's a melee... Oh my... Wow. What? How did that go so badly so quickly? Don was sitting on like 80 Zhukanu. And in the space of a second, it's all just gone. It all vanishes. I think that's one of the key things, is a lot of players just forget you have access to the Palace Guard as well. Let's switch it over to income per minute and have a look where he's sitting at. Yeah, you can see a huge difference between these guys. 101 economic units on the field. Now, how many does Leo actually have? Let's have a look. 22 traders. Does he have a second town center? How is the difference that big? 22 plus 16. You're talking 38. Yeah, I guess that probably adds up. But, yeah. And then he's just been buying all of the villages that he can. There you go. I mean, that's the thing, right? It's just, it's one of those, it just stacks up over time, those villages. All right, Don. Now, definitely on the defense. I think you've got to go back to that question of how long can you actually play Feudal Age with Juicy's Legacy / Chinese without crossbows? Because I think that's the big thing, right? You need crossbows here. Well, do you really need crossbows? Maybe not. Like, you can probably get away with Spearmen, or sorry, with Zhukanu. But I think you need something to deal with the Mangonels. And now another Mangonels shot comes through. He's got the split in. The split works well against the Mango, or against the Mangonels, but it doesn't work well against the Ghulams. And now the Ghulam's going to be coming through. I tell you what, these are the unique men-at-arms that the Varangian Guard wish they were right now. Look at the size of these things, man. These don't mess around. And now Mango, big shot down the hill, takes out a couple of them. And once again, we see more and more camels trying to make a run for it. I tell you what, this civilization, it is impressive, but I think Leozim definitely played it well, and Don, unfortunately, played into the strengths of the civilization. He allowed himself to get raided, and I think the big part was he never really had an answer to the Mangonels. The Mangonels is It's a special unit. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the fire used today, the incendiary weapon used today. But there's always tomorrow. Horseman now coming out from as well. Don trying his best. 50 Jukunu. Plenty more stacking up. Trying to rally him in. Mangonels coming out here. Second one getting made on the field. Big damage on that front. These guys have got their +2 ranged armor. And they've got a pretty high base as it is anyway. Mango. Another big shot. Don Artie. He's going to be looking to dive it once again. Everyone moving in. But no, Don, no. Oh, no, Don, no. No, a second one. No, not like this, Don. Quickly. Oh. Oh. You know what? When you face tank boulders like that, there's only so much you can take. And for me, as a Juicy Legacy main as well, because you know I main all the civilizations. It's painful. It's painful to see. But the Mangonels numbers are 0, but the Gulam numbers are high. And that's going to create a problem for Don because now his food economy is exposed and the game gets called. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed this game, make sure you go check out Don Artie. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can watch him live. And I think we've learned a valuable lesson today about walling up the base, making sure we're safe, and making sure we respect Mangonels and Mangonels. Those units don't mess around.